Hey, my name's Joel, and in this video, I'm going to be giving you my honest opinion as we go through the features and try out this TST electric scooter. This thing boasts 20 miles an hour of speed and a pretty long range with a 36 volt, 5.2 amp hour battery. So let's go through the features on this thing, then hop on it, take it down the road, see how it handles, see how it accelerates, see how it does on hills, and we'll see if it's a good buy for you. All right, let's do a quick walk around of the VS4 Max electric scooter here from TST. You've got, here's the baseline, the board, and the wheels. You can see this is where you'll stand. It doesn't have much grip up here. That's one thing I wish it had a little bit more of. It's got this pattern that's raised on it that does give you a little bit of grip with your shoes, but no material that's grippy. This is more slick. Under here is where the battery is located, and this is your battery charging port, cord included. You also have a kickstand down here that holds it up while you're not moving, and your front wheel, which is air-filled. I had to fill this up when I got it. It was a little low, so air-filled tire in the front, and then seemingly air-filled in the back, but it's not. There's, it's just kind of some kind of solid core rubber there. You have a disc brake on the back, so there's your mechanism and your disc there for your brakes. Tensioning cable there. You do have a brake light in the back here. When you pull on the brake handle, you get this to keep you safe out there. And then we'll work our way up to the handlebars, where you also have your brake lever on your left side. It depresses pretty far. I'm not sure if there's an adjustment or not, but these brakes are not the most sensitive, and this does depress all the way almost to the handlebar, so might need adjusted. On the right hand side, you have your throttle, and it's just a thumb throttle like this. It will not work unless you give the scooter some forward momentum. Then you can press on this throttle and it will take you. This is your main readout here. You have a power button here. You have your battery indicator down here at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little LED bars to tell you how much power you have. Your mile indicator and your miles per hour indicator. This M is for the level. So right now we're on medium. If you double press, you go to high, medium, low, medium, high. I would ride in high. I've tested this a little bit, and I would ride in high most of the time. Unless you're in a busy city street, medium would be fine. The low, it says right here, it's got a little person walking. It's only really for when you're walking next to it or something like that. It's extremely low, so I would recommend high. You just need to be an experienced rider to do that. And then of course this is your power button. You hold it to turn it on and off. Double tap for the levels, and single tap for the light in front. So you'll get a little indicator right here, light, and you'll see right here on front you have your little light. So single press on and off for your light. Got nice grips on the handlebars, some texture, not too much, not too little, just enough. And the only thing I had to assemble on this bike were the handlebars. You just attach them here with these 4 screws, 2 on each side. There are 2 on the back. Can only get 1 of those 2 in, but pretty easy to assemble as well. So let's go ahead and take this thing out for a ride. What do you say?
All right, so the main thing to remember is that when you want to go, you have to push off. So you give it a little push, and then it will go just like that. So let's go ahead and get out here. I'm gonna watch the speedometer here. I'm not a very experienced rider, but 10 miles an hour doesn't feel too fast on this. We're up to 11, 12. And it rides pretty smooth. I mean, we're going down a paved road. Not much to complain about. Cruising at about 11 or 12 in medium. If we wanted to go to high, could probably pick it up a little bit. Yeah, it looks like we can get to 17, 18 miles an hour, 19, 20, 21. We're going downhill just a little bit. So I'd like to test how it does uphill, but more than enough speed in high for all you'd want to do. At my experience level, 20 miles an hour is almost too fast on this thing. And test braking. Yeah, it does have a slow slow braking mechanism, I feel like. Just a little slow for me. And yeah, at high, boy, it's got some giddy up. You better pay attention on high. Going down a hill here. And yeah, the brakes are subtle, they're gentle. If you needed to stop really quick, it'd be a little difficult. Turning radius is good though. I'm able to turn around. Now we're going back uphill now in high. We'll see how the miles per hour do. Yeah, it's a little harder for it. She's maintaining about 12 on high going up this hill. And this is not a insignificant hill. It's kind of significant actually, but handling it at like 10. I don't know if I would call this bogging out, but yeah, it's slower going up this hill. There, we've crested the hill. Now she takes off at about 14, 15, 16. We're on flat ground now. 17, I'd call 17 or 18 the top on flat ground. 19, now we're going back downhill just a little bit. I'm coasting, no throttle. The throttle's really responsive. I do like the blue light right up top that kind of tells you what your throttle output is. And you gotta be careful pulling your thumb off that throttle super quick. You can get thrown off of these things, but yeah. So I've got a really big hill in my neighborhood over here that I wanna try. This is really comfortable on a road, but I think on a sidewalk, you'd probably wanna be in medium for sure. So let's try this hill. This is an extremely steep hill. I'll just start by saying that. We have it in high. I'm gonna brake all the way down it because it's a crazy hill. But if you're rolling around in the city, you might come across a hill like this. Not sure if you can see that going down, but this hill is crazy. I just want to see how the scooter does going up a hill like this. I've got the brake all the way on, and I can barely keep it at 13 miles an hour here. It's pretty crazy. We could probably hit 25 going down this hill, but I'm not doing that. See, the Apple Watch thinks we're cycling right now. All right, we'll just make a nice turn. You know, I thought the brakes were a little sluggish, but the more I use them, the more I like it. So here we go, going up the big hill. We're at about 10 miles an hour right now and holding, but yeah, it's gonna bog down a little bit. This is a crazy hill. Have to give it a little help going up this hill. This is why I'm not sure I trust this. See, we're barely moving and it says 5 miles an hour. I'm not sure how much we can trust this speedometer. Look at it. It says 4 miles an hour and we're not moving. It says 6 and I could walk faster than this. I'm not sure how accurate that is. It says 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I don't know. Feels like the speedometer is reading a little faster than it actually is going. It says 8 right now. I feel like I'm probably going 4 or 5. I don't know, that's hard to explain, but it says this is 7 miles an hour and I can still put my foot down and at 7 or 8 miles an hour, no way. Let's try a curb here, see how it does. Yeah, pretty good on a curb. All right, yeah. Let's go down a curb here. Yeah, once you get used to it, it's pretty easy to maneuver. I wouldn't hesitate to take this out on a city sidewalk or street. Does pretty good.
And on the back of the instruction manual, there is a QR code that you can scan to download their app for the TST e-bike and scooter connection, where we can connect to Bluetooth. All right, we're simply going to turn this on here. We're on. We have the app signed in. Let's go to connected devices. Allow. It's already found it. Connected. Select your model. Confirm. There we go. So it's got some pretty cool connection options and just allows you to keep track of what's going on with your scooter through your phone.
All right, so after a whole evening of testing, here's what I think of this TST scooter. Number one, as a full-grown adult man, it doesn't feel too small for me. I think that's always important to check out. How does this feel for a larger person and not just a kid? I had my teenagers try this out. They also felt comfortable on it, but I cruised around on it for what's probably been several miles of use, and it seemed totally fine for a person my size. I'm 6 foot tall, weigh 195 pounds, so that's fine. I think the power was totally acceptable. There are times when it felt like it had too much power in high, so just be careful because it can get away from you pretty quick. City streets, maybe you can use high. When you're on sidewalks, definitely only use medium. Low is just for walking beside it. But it handled what I would call average hills really well. It slowed down a little bit, but didn't bog down, didn't need any help. When you get to extreme hills, like the hill that we tested it on, you probably are going to have to push and help it a little bit. I think that's to be expected because there's no way they can add that much torque on a little scooter like this. Even though it's got power and range, the torque is what's the problem, and with a small wheel like this, that's to be expected. I like the fact that it has disc brakes, and I like the fact that the tire in the front is inflatable, but you do need to keep an eye on that because out of the box it was a little flat, and I needed to just top it off. Just make sure you look at the PSI. I believe it said it was a max 45 PSI. The grips are comfortable. I like the Bluetooth connectivity, and I like the portability. Even if I'm only using it for storage, I like the fact that this folds down and has a nice little catch here. I'm probably not going to use it a whole lot, but if you stick it in there, you can pick this whole thing up. That's a real plus. My only gripe with that is that this back section, they never lock in. I wish this would lock in. This just kind of sets in there and could be pulled out like this. There was just a catch there. It would fix all that. But you can easily throw this back up, and it's much easier to store if you need to throw it in the back of a car or in the trunk of a car. Much easier to store with this handlebar down. So moving it around would be great. If you like to travel, RV, camp, these are great around an RV park, I can tell you that for sure. But overall, I think the build quality is nice. I think the features are great, and I think it performed just the way I would have expected it to. And at the price it sells for, there's really not much risk if you're looking for a scooter like this to give this a try. I think it'll last long enough to make it worth it. So as always, thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, leave me a thumbs up. My name is Joel, and I'll see you in the next review.